Welcome to the live stream on Sage Intacct's 2023 Release 1 highlights. So we're going to go through lease accounting. We're going to go through the AP automation, how to apply some credits in accounts payable a little easier, some updates they've made there, the payment and billing details on contracts, the enhancement they've made on that. There's some changes to being able to bill construction retainage when generating invoices. There's some trial balance enhancements to the view of that report. Then we're gonna Mike Baio is going to talk about the new construction payroll reporting areas, the new permissions reports that are available, and the new training video courses. So let's just jump right in. We're going to talk about lease accounting first. So lease accounting is still in the early adopter program. And this relates to the ASCII 842 and the IFRS 16 lease accounting standards. So Intacct is rolling out lease accounting module that goes through and helps track the lease master data, the liabilities and right of use asset schedules, and managing those. So during this release, if you want to be, an early adopter, then you can reach out to us and we can help you get into that. It does require a separate subscription, but you can be a part of the early adopter program and give feedback on the that specific module if you are in need of tracking those types of leases. Okay, so here, just to give you a little glimpse of it, is a schedule that is what Intacct is working with right now with their early adopter program. So you come in here and you'd add your leases, place them in service, cancel them, regenerate them, and it will create the schedules and the related entries that go along with it. So just a glimpse of what of one of the screens that looks like. Okay, so next let's talk about the AP automation feature in Intacct. So what this feature is it's your paperless accounts payable document processing and storage. So it's an add-on feature and it streamlines your accounts payable bills. So if a vendor emails you, an accounts payable bill, or you get one in the mail, you scan it in. Intacct is rolling out their AP paperless automation. So it can be JPEG, it can be a PDF. There's the different types listed here. You can set up a separate email for each entity you might have in Intacct. So the configuration is very easy. Intacct has made it very nice. You basically turn it on and it does most of the configuration of the emails for you. And it helps you through that process. It uses artificial intelligence to, when you scan in, or it scans the bills and learns them each time. So it gets a little better at picking out the vendor name and the different wording on it. So it gets easier and easier to use the AP automation feature, and it makes it more efficient each time. So there is a small nominal fee for each bill. So what a lot of companies are doing, they'll set up a separate email, AP at bangerinc.com, for example, and all their vendors would email that email address, and then their accounts payable person in-house would forward those emails to the Intacct designated email that will then bring those in. What that does is that takes out the spam and the junk email, or if a vendor starts emailing you questions, you don't want to get charged for all those spam emails in Intacct. So that is one tidbit that they are passing along to make this, keep your inbox and intact from getting messy, and also keep the the fees to as little as possible. So, but they are small nominal fees in general. So, and once it is turned on, you can't turn it off. So just be aware of that. If you decide to go paperless with your accounts payable and turn this on, you can't turn it off. And like I mentioned before, it is easy to turn on, and no major configuration is really necessary. So it's easy to put in place. So here's an example of once you put it in place, what happens. So the bill will come in, you'll have a bill entry screen. And you can, if you turn this view on in accounts payable configuration, you can see the AP image right over here. So you can start drafting the bill while you're looking at the image. So it doesn't require two monitors. You can have it on one screen split. Also, the pre-coding down below in the entry section. So if you get Staples office bill in the mail, or a rent bill, and it always goes to the same spot, it pulls up the entries from last time. So you don't have to, so it kind of default codes it for you. So you don't have to, start over from scratch each time. So that is something nice that they have put on there. And then, like I was saying, the configuration is pretty simple. You'll go into the configuration AP, and you'll configure the email settings, and you'll turn on the way that you want each bill to detail out or summarize right here on the top. And then the email address automatically generate for you. So you can see the 100 entity has like 22,100. 200 entity has 22,200. So this all gets automatically generated for you. So you don't have to come in here and do any of this. Okay. The next feature I want to talk about, the next release enhancement or highlight, is the applying credits in accounts payable. So now you can use an on-the-fly filter in the pay bills list to restrict what credits show up. So you can see right here in this credit date range in this purple box, you can now put a date range in. Also over here, you have your separate due date range. So when you do that, only those specific credits will show up. Then when you're done and you apply the credits, the credit date actually shows up here on the apply credit screen. Okay, so that wasn't really shown before. Okay, the next release highlight was they are putting payment and billing details on the contract screen. So in your job contracts, if you pull up a specific contract and go to the billing details tab, they are now listing out your job contract invoices that you've already generated against this contract. And then the blue links, are drillable. So you can click on the AR invoice and see the specific line items that you have billed against this contract. So of the 140,000, you can see the various schedule of value line items that you've billed on. And then also the retainage ones would be right here. And then any payments would also be listed down here under the AR invoice payments received area. It's kind of down here at the very, very bottom. But all your payments and your billings will be listed now on the billing details tab on your contracts. Another new nice feature that they have rolled out is being able to bill construction retainage when you're generating a progress invoice. So, sometimes your earthwork or your concrete guy will be done quicker than someone else, and you want to release the retainage out. This would allow you to do that. So if you want to release some retainage here in this first green box, that's where you would release retainage to bill this period, is where you'd release that retainage out. And then if you want to still hold some more on the current billing, so they're releasing 300, but they're still retaining 100, you can do all this in one screen now. So there's no more, I've got to do my progress billing, send it. Now I've got to do a retainage billing and send that as well. So that new feature is very easy to use in the billing screen for and generate invoices. And then this would just show the general ledger effect of the prior screen. Their retainage, $300 they're releasing. They're holding $100 more. They're generating $1,000 in revenue net, and the $1,200 in AR to debit. Okay, so this is the GL effect of this prior screen right here on this top line. Okay, so really nice being able to do that all in one invoice now. So when you want to, if you want to be able to use that feature, you need to come in and set up your retainage release clearing account. So you would just make something like 1120 retainage release clearing GL account, and you would put it here in that empty box right here. Okay, so this is in the configure AR area in your settings there. Again, make sure you're at top level when you're doing some of the configurations. Otherwise, you might not be able to see it. Okay, another feature that they have turned on is nothing you need to do besides a checkbox on which I'll show you on the next screen. If you want to see your opening and closing general ledger balances on your trial balance as debits and credits versus just one number, you can now see in the purple box the new right here, the new way, if you want that on, and also the closing balance there in the yellow. So prior and then what they're doing after. Okay, and in order to turn that on, you need to go into your reporting options and click on the opening and closing balances as debits and credits. Okay, and now I'm going to kick it over to Mike to talk about the construction payroll reporting area, the new permissions reports, and the new training videos and courses. But just a quick tidbit here. If you have any questions, reach out to us at help@bangeroninc.com or go to our Bangor user group. That's completely free, or our YouTube channel for any questions. But now I'll kick it over to Mike.
Thanks, Lisa. In this session, we'll show you the enhancements that were made for Release 1 2023 for Intacct in the construction payroll area. One of the first things they've done is updated the menu in payroll. So basically now under applications, you'll have a menu labeled payroll. The old menu, just to show you an example of how it used to look, was just one big list of all the different items in the payroll module. And what they've done now is they've established a menu and organized it a little more consistent with Sage Intacct across the board. And there will be more changes as this comes out. But now you can see here for payroll, you have a setup section, you have all your configuration items grouped together, other setup items, and your tax information. And then under all, you have your tasks where you have your time cards, your checks, and then your reporting options, along with Atrix, all in the menu. In addition to that, they've given more access to reporting options on the construction payroll. They've now made new construction payroll reporting areas available. You can see these areas over in the permissions. So if you go into your roles and you do want to make sure you have security to these new permissions, I'm just going to select the administrator role and I'll click on subscriptions. And now under construction payroll, if I click on permissions, I have some new functions here. Oh, excuse me, went the wrong area. And you'll notice here now, there's some new line items here for the reporting areas that are now available for custom reporting and for the ICRW. Payroll report time card, report PTO, tax, pay modifiers, check, gross pay, time card, and check summary. All of these records are now available to report on, and they are in the process of uploading and syncing the data by the end of next week. And first week of March, they should have all of this data over to be able to be reported on. And where you can see that is over in, if I go into a particular report, for example, so let's go into reports, and you now have access to that data in custom reports and interactive custom reports. So just to show you an example, if I go into custom reports, I did create a report here off of time card data. And excuse me, let me go back. And I have a report here called, for example, check recap by union. You can see it's off of the new payroll report time card report. If I click edit, now you'll notice that when you select your primary data sources down near the bottom, you have your payroll items that we just saw in permissions. So you'll be able to run reports off of all of this payroll source information in the system. So if I just go and take a look at my columns, so now you'll be able to see items related directly to checks, total employer taxes, total deductions, and then all of the related tables that are available, including the time card here. So now I can actually see work union, work date, hours, etc., all in the over in the reporting options for payroll. In addition to the new payroll reporting areas, they've also created some new reports for permissions and audit trail activity. So there is some new reports that can be run and downloaded through the system. So if you go into, for example, if you want to have access to the new report is called Permissions Report for All Users and a User's Permission Activity Report. So in order to make those reports available for your instance now is you'll need to go into your platform services at your top level, and you'll go into custom packages. Inside custom packages now, you can click on the package library, and you'll notice some new reports here. There is a audit history by user report, and if I come down here, there is a permissions report for all direct users, among some others. So any one of these reports you want to have access to and run, you go down to the report and you simply click install. So if I click install, that will load the package up. And now if I go take a look at my reporting area, and I'm not sure if that's an ICRW or a custom report, so let's take a look. And let's go over to our ICRWs. And let's see if we have this report on the menu, and it may be a custom report as well, which I believe it is. So let's go take a look at our custom reports. Permissions reports for all users. So there's the report. It's actually a custom report. It's now available. And I can come into here and run it. And I can run it on a particular application if I want to. So any of those reports you can install from platform services and download into your instance. You do also have access to reporting in that new data table as well. So just like in the payroll reports, you can come into here and click add in custom reports. And now you'll notice under users, you have a user's permissions activity data source that you can pull from and create your own report, your own custom reports as well off that activity. In addition to that, they've also made a ton of new material available, new training material and video courses available inside the help system in Intacct. You can get to it by simply going into your release notes or into the help system here. But if we go into the release notes and you preview down the industry highlights, basically when you get down to the bottom here, you'll see help and training. We added new help training courses and videos, and you can click to it right from here, right from the help and training center. And this is a great menu item to bookmark. Basically, this will show you all of the new help topics they've added. So you can add your own help to the menu and how to do that, how to pay bills as you go down the list here. And then you'll notice now there is new training courses that are available in Sage University. You will need a login account for your Sage University, but you can take new training videos as well. Automating accounts payable, billing construction contracts as orders. So all of the new features that they've added in Release 1, there is some Sage University classes or courses you can take for that. I like this new product videos, so you can kind of see here what new videos they've added right within the help. Best way to get into that is to simply come into a topic that you're looking for, pay bills, for example, and accounts payable. And if I click on that, they have a nice little quick reference guide now where you can see text information on wiki information on about paying bills, how to pay bills. But then you can also come over to the right here and watch the videos. So I can come into here and just click on all about paying bills, and then there's the video that I can watch. Okay. There's also direct links to the videos that you can get to the videos right from here. And actually, if I go like this, let me close this. And you can get to a video library, so you can also do a search on the video library. And this one will give you a visual checklist of all the videos that are available in accounts payable, accounts receivable. And that's all available within the help inside Intacct and your Sage University as well for training courses. And that's going to conclude our highlights for Release 1. If you have any questions or comments, please comment or email us at help@bangyardinc.com. Thank you.